Hello, 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 and welcome to Workouts for Older Men Live. I am Skip LaCour, and I am so glad you're joining me for this live video. Even if you're not watching live, make sure you say hello, hello, hello in the comment section. Post any questions that you may have in the comment section. I will get to it. I'll answer you directly, maybe a direct message. Maybe I'll make an entire live video just to answer your question, because I know it'll help so many men just like you who are a little bit older. You've been doing this. You want this badly. Get healthy and fit. Trying to work through all your challenges and work through all the confusion, frustration, and overwhelm. I want to help you do that. Hey, we're getting so many new men here on this Skip LaCour page right here on Facebook. So let me take a moment to introduce myself. My name is Skip LaCour. I will be 61 years old here next month, 61 years old. Been doing this for about 33 years. In my former life, I was a competitive natural bodybuilder, a 6-time national champion bodybuilder, 15 straight years. That's all I thought about. Gave me perspective of doing this, pushing my body, my discipline to the limits, maybe in excess. Maybe I didn't have to do all that because I was following all the different strategies and wanted to be a champion badly. That's given me the perspective now. It's about 21 years since I have stopped competing, and now I live a life like you probably lived when you were younger, taking care of your kids and family, hard work at your business while I was traveling around the world, competing in bodybuilding shows, training and eating and training and eating and training and eating. All right, so I now have the appreciation for what you did and how to take all the stuff that does not matter. It's interesting. I know the young guys are talking about it all the time. But what I want for you is that you can take the things that you need and throw away all the stuff that you don't need as you build the body that you want, even though you're a little bit older. All right, so in this video, I want to give you 5 reasons why all the fitness experts, they all seem to disagree and drive you crazy. All you want is information, right? You're willing to do the work. Why can't they agree on the information to just do it? Why isn't it black and white? Why do they all seem to disagree and fight about it? All right, so I'm going to give you 5 reasons why you are confused, how to help you work through that confusion. Hey, I want to help you one-on-one. So you don't have to watch all these videos all the time, right? You can hear it from me. I have one-on-one weekly coaching. We talk for an hour. I'm your personal teacher. I take my 33 years doing all these training shows, helping out men just like you. I do that every single day of the week, and I have for years, right? Being a teacher, a one-on-one teacher to you. So if you want to go through the process, you won't end all this confusion, frustration, overwhelm, move forward with more certainty and confidence, reach out to me for one-on-one coaching. I put my phone number down there. Just text me. We can set up a call to talk and see if it's a good fit for you. I want to end this confusion, frustration, and overwhelm that you have so you can get to work. Again, I want to talk about why you're confused. 5 reasons why all the fitness experts seem to disagree, and it's driving you crazy. All right. Make sure you stay for number 5. 5 is probably the most important one to tie this all together and set you free. All right. Number 1, why is all the information different? It's because everyone has different goals. Everybody does not have the same goals, and so they don't take the same approach. Now, I'm not going to talk about genetics. I'm not going to talk about your years of training. I'm not going to talk about if your body's older or younger, if you're male or female. I'm not going to talk about why it's confused, but everybody has different goals. I do not have the same goals now to be healthy and fit, look this way at 61 years old than I did when I was a bodybuilder. I mean, I wanted to build every ounce of drug-free muscle. I wanted to be a champion, whatever time it took. However, it destroyed my life was eating 8 meals a day every 2 hours, which, by the way, you don't need to do to build muscle, all right? Even 6 meals a day, even eat every 2 to 3 hours, all right? I did that. It would be easier for me to just kind of continue on and tell you that, right? I talked about it for so many years if you search the internet, but I'm going to give you the most effective and efficient information so it's sustainable. I can barely do that, right? I know you can't do that now. You don't want to do good things. You don't have to do it, right? So, all right. But everybody has different goals. I just want to be healthy and fit. I want to live a long life. I want to be flexible and functional as I live a longer life. I go for that longevity, right? Do I need all this muscle? Do I need to be just huge? Do I want to take that risk on my heart, that extra weight, right? Some of you guys, it's not all muscle. You know, you have a lot of body fat, a lot of weight. Is that the best thing at this age? To be carrying all that weight, even if you're known as the big guy, right? But do you want to just lose weight? Do you want to get huge? Do you want to build muscle? Maybe you're a skinny guy and you want to build muscle. There's so many different goals, and so what we're doing is you're hearing this, and that fitness influencer might be talking to a hardcore bodybuilding crowd, or they might talk about people who just need to move more, eat less. You know, they're barely in a gym, or somewhere in between, and you're taking all the different goals, and when they say, hey, we'll take this approach to cardio, this approach to training, it's like it should be a one size fits all, but you're mixing and matching the eating strategy, the training strategy, all right? The frequency of workout, the type of cardio, the amount of cardio, you're mixing and matching and hearing it all like it's just for one person, right? Everybody has different goals. There's many ways to go about it. There's different pieces to just tell you one piece of how many reps to do without talking about the weight and the frequency. Right, all those things matter, and you're taking bits and pieces of this big mosaic picture, and it's throwing you off, right? Okay, everybody has different priorities. You know, what if I want to just build as much muscle as I can, be healthy and fit, live a long life now that I'm older? But really, I choose to only train with weights 3 days, and I don't want to be in there more than an hour. Right? That's a different set of life priorities than someone who has the same exact goals, but he's willing to do it in 5 or 6 days for 2 hours. I have a lot of older men that want to spend that time in the gym. They have different life priorities. Does that mean there's only one way to do it? Hey, split out the workout, the routine for a 5-day person. You got to do it right. I don't care hey, you can only do it 3 days a week. Well, change your priorities. This is optimal. Do it this way. That's why you should do it this way. No, you can get results if you know how to train. You know the other different pieces in 3 days a week, even though you're older. But you have to know. And that's when you have to know about sets, reps, frequency, intensity, weight. What's it feel like at the end? Are heavyweight, lightweight? What's the heavyweight, lightweight? Right? They all have their different pieces. And even with your priorities, even with your goals, even with your priorities, you can get this done, right? But you're trying to mix and match all the different pieces that you hear out there. Preferences, all right? Again, there are many ways to get from point A to point B, and let's just take cardio, all right? When it comes to training, I'd rather, train more, courageously, heavier, right? Get it done in fewer reps, fewer sets, fewer exercises, less frequency, less volume. Because if I do that, I can still simulate muscle growth, right? But that's the path that I'm taking. So intensity, right? I'd rather work harder in a shorter period of time to get the same results, right? But when it comes to cardio, I don't want to do that HIIT cardio for 20 minutes or less and just kill myself. Don't like cardio that much. Don't want to beat myself up doing cardio where I will beat myself, so to speak, with the weights, right? Just my preference. So does that mean, unless I do intense cardio, that's what this guy says, does that mean I should do no cardio because I'm not doing it right, or I'm not going to get any benefits from cardio? No, I can do my preference to do longer sessions that have, they're more at a moderate pace and still get the results that I'm after, right? So goals, priorities, your personal preferences to get the job done. And you're hearing a whole bunch of different ways to make that happen. This is really important too, number 4. It's optimal versus effective. You got to understand, we fitness experts, this is our life, this is our love, it's our passion. We think about this all day long, right? And so we're always looking for the optimal way to do it, all right? Someone would say, well, wow, that's pretty complicated. I can't do that. Well, it's optimal. Well, does that mean I shouldn't do it any other way? So if I do it suboptimal, I'm just wasting my time? If you ever ask them that, they would not say, well, you're not wasting your time, all right? But it's not optimal. Well, if you can't do it, you can't do it. One theory is that you should separate cardio from weight training 10 hours. That would be optimal so you don't interfere with your muscle gains. You know what? that is optimal, but for most men, that is not practical. So the question is, what if I did them together? What if I did it before my workout? Versus, hey, you should always do it before. You should always do it after. You should separate it by 10 hours, all right? What's the difference going to be? All right, one, I guess, again, right, who you talk to, he says it's always before. He says it's always after. He says it's 10 hours later. Why can't they agree? Well, let's just say one of the three, I don't know, pick a number, whichever one is supposedly optimal. How much of a drop-off are you going to have if you did it before instead of after? Or 10 hours later versus after? Or before or after versus after? How much of a difference is it going to make? Does it really matter if it's optimal? Right? For you, an older man with a busy, productive life, trying to put together all these pieces, trying to, go forward without so much confusion, frustration, and overwhelm. Some of these things, optimal versus effective, first of all, could be argued that's subjective anyway. But how much is it going to matter, especially if you can't do it in an optimal manner? Number 5. This is probably the most important thing you got to understand to get perspective, to move forward with certainty and confidence, just get the job done, right, without being confused. Is that, see, I disagree that they all disagree. And I'm not, I could be like any other fitness expert. I can exalt myself to the top of the pile and say, all those other guys all disagree. You're right. They don't know what they're talking about, right? But this is how it really is that, I've been doing this for 33 years, right? I've been talking about the same basic organizing principles, try to hopefully better and more energy for 33 years since the internet started, right? I'm sure I've talked about this subject like 300 times at least, right? Okay. Because I don't want to drift off to things that don't matter because it excites me. It's not about me. If I'm a teacher, if I'm a coach, it's to get you the results, take my 33 years and give you what you need so you just don't have to do all that trial and error. You can do it in a fraction of the time. I can't do what's mentally stimulating to me and talk about things that don't matter and give you that impression that I'm all excited about it. Just skip ahead of all the most important things. Let's just talk about these things we just learned in a test tube last week. That's not serving you. That's not what you need. All right? The experts don't really disagree with the basics, especially if you were asking, well, if a person's goals were this, their priorities is this, their preference was this, optimal wasn't absolutely necessary, 10 out of 10, just make sure what I do isn't less than an 8 out of 10. All right? Okay? They would all agree. You know what? They don't talk about all the stuff they agree about because it's boring to them. And you know what? It's boring to you guys. Even though you're not doing, everybody goes, oh yeah, I know nutrition is important. I'm 26% body fat. I got a lot of muscle, right? I know I need to work on my nutrition. Yep, you're right. But hey, what's the right training routine? You already know what you need to focus on, right? You've been doing this for 20 years, right? But I'll ask you, well, how many calories are you eating? You have no clue. No clue. None. All right? But you don't want to hear about that. You don't want to hear me drive. Yeah. Tell me something new. Tell me something different. He's not saying anything. Most of the fitness experts, you're bored, they're bored, and they're talking about all the things that don't matter. All those debatable things, they really don't matter as much. It seems like I get it. They're all talking about it. They go on little waves where everybody debates about it. And it seems like it's the most important thing to you because that's all that's presented. The basic things, they all agree with it, the basic things about muscle overload, progressive overload, good solid nutrition, consistency, mindset. But nobody wants to talk about those things. You don't want to listen to them. Yeah, I got that. Show me something new. I already do that. Tell me something, and they're more than happy to tell you something else. So they don't disagree on the things that really matter. The challenge is you don't know, and I get why, you don't know the things that really matter. You're listening to them fight about the things that really don't matter. I don't care how passionate they are or whatever it is. It's the topic du jour in the fitness world. And I get it though, but that's what's confusing you. The basics, the things that work, there's not a lot of disagreement, especially when you line up the goals, the priorities, the person's preferences, optimal versus effective, what's doable, and what are the basic things that really matter. I don't know if there's as much disagreement when you really break it down. But how can you? Who can you talk to about all this stuff, right? Some influencer with 10 million followers, you think he's going to spend some time on the phone with you? How much would that cost, right? I don't know, right? Usually they just want to send you a PDF file, little website, that has some videos. That's really pretty much the same things. If you don't get it, if you can't differentiate what I'm telling you, it's going to just seem confusing. I mean, I tell you, if you believe it and it fits, it aligns, again, the goals, priorities, preferences, and optimal, and you understand what the basics are, probably will work if you move forward with that certainty and confidence, all right? So that is why you're confused. Hopefully that is helpful. Reach out to me. I talk you through this. I'm your personal teacher with one-on-one coaching. We do it week by week. We do it on the same day for structure and continuity. You do it for a long enough period of time for me. It won't take forever. You'll have this for the rest of your life. All right, so that's going to do it for this Workouts for Older Men Live. Let's take on the day with a sense of urgency. We have to when we're a little bit older. We've got more time behind us than we do in front of us. Have a great day.